In New Super Mario Bros. U, Bowser takes over Peach's castle as you get thrown far away from the escapade, where you then spend the rest of the game venturing back to the castle. While you make your approach, Bowser begins to alter the castle, first by swapping the flags to his own after you beat the second level, Tilted Tunnel, followed by Kamek swirling some dark clouds around it after your first encounter with him at Stoneslide Tower, to where it then gets completely engulfed after beating Giant Skewer Tower or Freezing Rain Tower, whichever the player clears first. That'll complete the castle's transformation to the hellscape you witness when you finally reach it. Now, those events aren't what I'm here to talk about. It's a plotline in a Mario game, there isn't much to cover. What I instead want to focus on are how those 3 triggers aren't guaranteed to occur at those specific levels. Take a look at the fastest route used in speedruns you can achieve using various secret exits. You never visit any of those towers on this path, since you instead skip all the way to Soda Jungle, so the second trigger with Kamek is instead moved to Snake Block Tower. And continuing on this path, Slide Lift Tower triggers the third one. All this to demonstrate that triggers for these cutscenes are malleable to an extent, so I decided to play with them. This first started on a whim when I decided to play NSMBU, as one does, and I eventually got curious to see how long I could prolong the second trigger. Tilted Tunnel is completely unskippable, so you can't do much with the first instance, and I'm not going to be bringing it up much because of that. But the other two have the potential to be messed with. Your only real option at this point is to take the secret exit to Soda Jungle, since otherwise you're stuck taking the normal route, but from there, you can avoid playing through the tower by taking the secret exit and bridge over poisoned waters, which will spawn a path of brick blocks across the haunted forest part of the world. This will skip over the secret path you can take the Meringue Clouds, but no matter, we can clear the rest of Soda Jungle just fine and make it to Rock Candy Mines, before being forced to face Grinding Grohl's Tower. In case you haven't caught on yet, towers seem to be the primary triggers, so I was expecting my journey to end here. However, there's a secret exit hidden in this level, so I was wondering if the outcome would change if I took that. After all, the second trigger feels like it was designed to occur after you first interacted with Kamek, hence why he would then show up to shroud the castle in magic and be relevant to the game. The secret exit avoids the boss, and therefore that confrontation entirely, and there was only one way to find out if it would change anything. I used the mini mushroom through the whole level, took the small pipe near the end, went for the flagpole, and nope. Cutscene plays out regardless, which would then mean if you go out of your way to do this, this would be the first time you see Kamek in the game, and that's sort of interesting. It doesn't change much at all, there's basically no one who first encountered him in this specific way, but just the fact that you can manipulate the world map to trigger this cutscene before knowing he's in the game is a little fascinating, and I wanted to dig deeper. I mean, I'm already in Rock Candy Mines, so would clearing Screwtop Tower activate the third trigger? Yes. Yes, it did. It's a lot more interesting that this activates a trigger compared to the first tower. I expected that one to work anyways, at least with the normal exit, but it's honestly a bit odd this one activates it too. With this, you can complete the castle's transformation within one world, and that's after you brought the second trigger to the farthest possible point that you could. It's pretty fascinating that it works in that way, but I wanted to know more, and I had a massive question. Did these triggers have to be sequential? Could I, for example, do the tower in Soda Jungle and then go back to an earlier world's tower? What would happen then? So I did the tower in Soda Jungle and then went back to Acorn Plains to test out my speculations. I cleared Crushing Cog's tower and nothing happened. To be fair, it doesn't activate a cutscene in a normal playthrough anyways, so I was half expecting this, but it's intriguing that this tower is the only exception to the rule. I wonder if that's why Tilted Tunnel is the trigger for the first cutscene instead. In the fastest route, you only play through 2 of the 8 towers, which would leave one cutscene left untriggered if they were all tied to towers, so moving the first instance to a level you can't skip would fix this. That gets me wondering, so like in the code, is Crushing Cog's tower not labeled as a tower but Tilted Tunnel is? Or is it trigger separate from a level being a tower and just happens to be mostly assigned to them? If I looked at it, I could probably find out, but that is not my forte in the slightest. I would probably get lost very quickly. For now though, it was best to find another tower. I simply moved on to Layer Cake Deserts, cleared it, and lo and behold, it activates the third trigger, which then means order does not matter. You can do the towers in any way you want, and it will still trigger both the second and third cutscenes. What's even more interesting about this specific scenario is that it's the second tower that's activating it. It can never trigger the third cutscene unless you deliberately go backwards like I did. I believe in the code, it's not an instance of it telling the game to activate the third cutscene, then move on to the third. Instead, it just tells it to activate the next one. So that's pretty much all of my findings. I have no clue if it's been documented before. It is for a 14-year-old game after all. I'm just presenting it like it was new to me because it was. But regardless if it's been public information for a while or not, I like doing stuff like this to Mario U. Here's all of the possible methods to trigger both cutscenes. There's the vanilla ways with Tower 2 to Tower 3 and Tower 2 to Tower 4, and using the fastest route you can get Tower 5 to Tower 7. With the secret exit in Spike's Spouting Sands, you can get from Tower 2 to Tower 5, and with that, you can also skip Soda Jungle's tower to get to Tower 6. Or take the fastest route to Tower 5, clear the rest of the world, and reach Tower 6. And as discussed earlier, you can get Tower 6 to trigger the second cutscenes followed afterward by Tower 6 too. Now, with sequence breaking, you can get Tower 5 to Tower 2, Tower 6 to Tower 2, and Tower 6 to Tower 5. In total, that leaves you with 10 different ways to go about these two cutscenes. You will very likely never need to do most of these methods, but I like that the option's there for me to trigger all of them if I'm bored on a random Saturday or something. Anywho, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit those wacky buttons below, and I hope to see you in the near future.